It's just so much more torque in the mid-range now. This feels like how the car should have been. Guess what? I happened to get something in the mail today. This is really, really big. No, seriously, this is huge for this new car. In fact, the part that came in the mail today is responsible for 90% of the power gains I'm going to get out of this car. The odd thing is, this part I thought would be the last thing I purchased because it is technically the single most expensive part I will be purchasing for this vehicle. Except I happen to find what I wanted for a whole lot less than what I was originally going to pay. So with that can only mean one thing. Oh yeah. It's time to add some boost. So, okay. I was lucky to find this pre-owned from a gentleman in the Elantra groups who was gracious enough to cut me a smoking deal. Because this JB4, these things are expensive. For a tuning device, I can only do so much. Now, these are great devices you can use regardless if the car is flash tuned or not, because these can do boost by gear and a lot of things. They can add functionality to an ECU that doesn't have it, even if the ECU is tuned. So it's still a really interesting product. And this is the first time I've ever had one. I wanted to get this for the Mustang, but I decided not to after it was all said and done. Now I'm finally getting a chance to see what the JB4 is all about. Because this is pre-owned, it's not much of an unboxing, it's just oh, there it is. You're next level. Of course I am, thank you. You don't have to tell me. This is all it is. It's just some cables and a box. That is literally, that's it. That's a JB4. Now, thankfully, what makes this even a better deal is because the JB4, when you buy it, it's not fully functional. There are some options that if you want full functionality, you have to pay additional for. In fact, I'm still not done with having to purchase things to be able to use this. There's one more thing I'm gonna have to purchase to be able to unlock the full functionality of this device. But one of the big things is, let me pull this out. If you look here, there's this little doohickey mabobber. This is a Bluetooth receiver. So this allows Bluetooth connectivity to an app on your phone. And that's pretty much how you control it for the most part. I mean, there was another cable you can buy that hooks up to a computer and, you know, all that good stuff. Having the Bluetooth capability for a few reasons is nice. Not having to drag a laptop around with you to data log, all that good stuff. It's a little bit more convenient. And there's some really other cool features that I hope I can get working, because if I can, it'd be pretty cool with this car. I'll have to admit, it would make up a lot of what I'm missing from Buster. So, but as I was saying, this here is an additional expense. You don't get this when you buy this. You just get this right here. And in fact, there's even additional harnesses and hookups I can buy that I don't know if I can use or not on this car, but there's more. There's so much more you can spend, because this right here is like $600 just for the box and the main harness. And then this is like another $150 or something like that for this Bluetooth dongle. That's crazy, guys. Seriously, that's crazy. So this combination here, if you buy it new, is like $648. Not including tax, not including shipping. Okay, that may actually include shipping, because they might do free shipping. But regardless of the fact, that's a lot of money. And in most cases, when you spend this kind of money on a product, generally, if there's an app that you need in order to use said product, especially after you spend the amount of money you spend for hardware to allow you to use digital functionality, you would think digital functionality would be included in that price or free, i.e. the app you need to use that Bluetooth dongle would be free. Oh no, because the guys at Burger Motorsports charges you $27.99 for the app. You can't use this without the app. The price should be included. All said and done, the app, the Bluetooth dongle, and the main unit itself, it's like $700. I'm hoping by buying this thing secondhand, I will have saved myself a whole lot of money, assuming it works. Oh my God. So I reread the instructions. Mind you, I got the instructions straight off JB4's website. It's right on their product page. They have it right there. You can download it. Easy squeezy. So I was looking at it. I looked at it again. Okay. And it says certain vehicles may have the other map sensor located underneath the vehicle on the outlet of the intercooler. And I'm like, oh. So I'm just like quickly going by it all. And I'm looking at the pictures. I'm like, all right, it's on the other side of the intercooler. Nope. On this car, they're next to each other. They're literally one sensor's here, one sensor's here. I never had to remove any of that. At least I know how the airbox comes out. Sooner or later, that will be coming out permanently. But I guess while I have this apart, it is dusty and nasty under here. So I guess I can at least clean this real quick while I have the opportunity. Okay, so now that problem's fixed, I can move on to other areas that need to be taken care of, like this. So, okay, all right, I see. There's this sensor here is a 4-pin. This one is a 3-pin. Gotcha. There's a 4-pin connector and a 3-pin connector. Now, I keep finding things about this JB4 that I don't like. I don't like the fact that they use these very cheap connectors. They call them friction fit. There's just no way. There's no way, man. You mean to tell me that's how that's supposed to work? Like that? No factory connector. It just... Are you kidding me? And then this one doesn't even fit snugly. It's loose. And it's reversible. I'm really having second thoughts. I mean, you hit a good bump and this stuff's coming out. And then you're getting a check engine light and losing all power. I gotta tell you, I'm a little frustrated with this. I was not expecting this level of quality coming from a product that costs so much. I mean, thankfully I didn't pay that much for it. And I'm glad I didn't. I would be pissed. I don't want to be a negative Nancy, but you can't have that on a car, guys. You just can't. Am I missing something here? Okay. Unless there's just something about this I don't understand or I don't know about, or if there's an updated harness, because this is inexcusable. I don't even give this quality of work. And you've seen what I'm capable of. All right, so that aside, this connection over here, come to find out, doesn't even get used because this is for an older 1.6 turbo that used a mass airflow sensor right here, which this one doesn't use. You know what? Before I continue with this, I need to make sure I didn't get jammed with this buying this secondhand. Something just isn't adding up here. I need to send some emails. I need to figure out what's going on. Something just doesn't feel kosher. So I sent them an email asking, what is kind of going on here? If there is an updated harness with those connectors. Because if there is, I would be interested in it as long as they wouldn't charge an arm and a leg for said harness. We'll have to wait and see what they say. Otherwise, it's not really too much we can do while we're waiting. Wait a minute. No, there is something I can do while we're waiting. And that's up here. Because if I do... come on. If I do get this thing working, and I do keep this thing on the car... Come on. I am going to have to re-gap these spark plugs. And eventually, probably have to upgrade said spark plugs to 1 step colder, depending on how crazy I get, but shouldn't have to with just 4 PSI over, especially with some 93 octane. So I need to get these spark plugs out and check them, inspect them, make sure everything's looking good. So let me get these out real quick so we can take a look at them. Oh, interesting. Very, very interesting. We're going to have to take a look at these plugs a lot closer. I have a feeling It ain't that much of a feeling, but I'm starting to see the past of this car. Look at these spark plugs. Look at the color on them. But you know what color that is from? That's from an octane booster. Look at that. Why would you put an octane booster in an otherwise factory car? So it looks like at one point this car was perhaps modified. I don't know how. It's only got 8,000 miles on it. It was like 7,300 when I got it. Spark plugs don't look like that stock. So that's interesting. In fact, this might explain some of the way the car's been running. Like sometimes it feels like it's running good. Sometimes it feels like it's running like crap, like it has no power. This looks to be the reason why. So hopefully after I clean these up, because these are gonna need a top to bottom clean. These are disgusting, and it looks like I'm gonna be ordering spark plugs sooner than later. You know, right after I finished recording that last clip, I think I had a mental breakdown because the condition of the spark plugs just had me momentarily think I potentially bought a car that is going to give me some really bad problems. So it kind of caused me a bit of a panic attack. I went running around the house naked, singing the lyrics to Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. Oh, it really probably wasn't a good sight for the neighbors. Now that that's all done and out of the way, so I sent the good people over at Burger Motorsports an email, and to my surprise, they were actually really quick about getting back to me. Here's the dilly. I let them know what was going on, and this is what they said. It says, you appear to have an early beta harness before the connectors were finalized. We can swap the harness for the final version for 100 plus shipping if you send it in to us. I was hoping it would be less. I tried looking up where I could get these kind of connectors, and you can buy them. That's not the problem. It's just, could I fix it? Sure, but if there's other things they've added to said harness that I don't know about, then that's gonna be a problem. So it looks like I'm gonna be packing up this harness and sending it out. And that's the other crappy part, is the $100 doesn't even include shipping. So that's on me too. So I'm gonna probably be spending another $120, $130 to replace this harness. So I thought this was a good deal. This ain't turning out to be such a great deal. It was a smoking deal. There was a reason for that. After this is all said and done, it's still technically a good deal because it would be under $400. That's still a good deal. It's just not an incredible deal like I thought I had. Anyone who's buying one of these secondhand, make sure your connectors don't look like this and they have locking style connectors. Unless you want this, but I don't. I don't want that because I don't want the problems. It's just crazy that they even make such a thing, and I guess they do this for people who are willing to test it for them. It's a little strange. Now, of course, had I spent $700 and bought all this new, I guess I wouldn't have had the problem, but your boy is broke, and he's got to do what he's got to do. Oh, wow. Like, this is a billet aluminum case. No wonder it's $700. Man, look at this thing. It's got a bunch of microchips in it. From my understanding, none of this needs to be changed, but you can see it has like a DB, what the hell they call these kind of connectors. It's got to do a screw here. Okay, a screw here. Yep, there we go. And then just got to pack this up. Thankfully, it's just a small little thing. It shouldn't cost too much to ship, I hope. Less than $10 each way would be great. We'll see. So, there we go. Got it all packed up and get this sent out to Burger Motorsports. They can send me back the right harness after $100 and whoever knows many dollars later. And then once they send that back, we should be able to boogie. Hopefully. Maybe. You never know around here. You just don't. So hopefully it doesn't take too long to get this to them and get one sent back.
One eternity later.
I feel like this took way too long. This is the harness, I assume. I don't know what else they would send me, but we just open things up. Oh, look at that. Ah, yes, this is what I should have started off with in the first place. Look, It's got connectors. Oh my goodness, how beautiful. Now it did take a little bit longer than I was expecting, but that wasn't really any fault to Burger Motorsports. That was because I happened to do this during the Thanksgiving week, and that kind of goofed up shipping. But with that said, the process was easy and straightforward. They told me what to do in an email, and I did what they told me. It got there when it got there. Then they send me an email again confirming, you know, this is what I want. Then I proceed with the purchase that they discount. So yeah, all said and done. This JB4, I thought this was going to be a deal of a century. I mean, I think it's still an okay deal. I didn't get the worst deal out there. And technically, I got a new harness now. So far, I spent $240. I paid Burger Motorsports a total of $117 for the new harness, and to have them ship it back to me, and then an additional $6 was spent in shipping to them, which leaves me a grand total of $363. You know, the thing is, I wasn't planning to buy this now, but because I thought it was such a good deal the first time I bought it, it's like one of those things like, man, if I don't jump on this now, I'm never gonna get a deal like that again. Well, now I'm at $363, which is pretty much what every one of these goes for secondhand on average. So much for a deal of the century. So now I just gotta get this put back together, get it back in the car so I can actually go and do what I meant to do in the first freaking place, was put it in and see how the car feels with it. It's like I gotta get my hands dirty. So now let's see how this all feels. Now I'm hoping I should notice a little difference. Okie dokie. Oh, okay. It is a little bit more spicy. This is just like the map one, okay? The lowest map that you can put the car on with the JB4. It adds like 2.5 pounds boost, but yeah, it's a lot more spunky. I can definitely tell. I mean, it's not like, you know, it's not gonna blow my socks off, but it's noticeable. It almost feels like how you want the car to be stock anyway. Not too bad. Map 2, 93 plus. I have 93 in the tank. I'll hit that, change the map. Map changed. I don't know how well this map will work, because from my understanding, I may need to go to a step quarter spark plug. Now, I might get away with it right now because it's not too hot out right now. I don't think this is gonna work until I get, you know, step quarter spark plug. But we'll give it a shot, see what happens. Probably take a quick log just to make sure it's good and I'm not getting like negative cylinder correction. Oh, wow, okay. That picks up a lot better. Oh, I just put my foot down just to pass a car, and it actually went. Usually I have to wait for this thing to kind of like spool itself up, but it actually did what I needed to do. This map 2 one's pretty good, I gotta say. Like, it was definitely noticeable. For a second, I thought I was driving the Mustang the way that picked up. Oh yeah, that definitely feels better. Even part throttle makes a big difference. The torque coming in feels so much better. It's more responsive, actually. That's crazy. This feels like how the car should have been. You know how you always say that? Every time you tune a car, it's like, why couldn't it just been like this from the factory and I wouldn't even have to void my warranty? No. Oh. It's just so much more torque in the mid-range now. Like, I feel like I don't have to carry it at the red line like I do when it's stock. You know, that's the thing about the EcoBoost in the Mustang. A lot more torque. Even stock, a lot more torque than this engine makes. But now this feels like that, where you have that nice mid-range punch. This engine stock, the power is all up top, which is usually not what you feel on a OEM turbo application with the small turbos, but now it has that mid-range punch that you kind of come to expect. That's nice. Little wide open throttle punch here. Yeah, so much better. It wasn't getting any negative correction, 3.5 degrees, 18 plus PSI. Yeah, moving pretty good. I guess now it'd be kind of cool to see by just adding the JB4, the you know, improvements it has made on the car time-wise. Thinking I need to break the draggy out and do some 40 to 80 runs between nothing, map 1, map 2. See the difference it makes? I don't know. I mean, it's noticeable for sure. So it's got to make a difference in time, right? So I have to see how that works out until the next mods come in, because out of all the parts I'm getting for this car, if there was ever one particular part to cause me problems, it's the one that's already on the car. I have to see how it all goes, get a little bit more pep out of the Elantra here until hopefully the next project car comes in, but that's still whiles away. But with that said, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here for the video. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with everyone you know. If you want to see more content like this and you haven't already, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. Keep a lookout for the next Karz Kreated video.